Katie McFarland joins me now. Katie, I don't think this looks good to our enemies.
No, I mean, it looks bad. It looks terrible to everybody. Everyone can see the obvious, mental decline of the president. But we also have a vice president who nobody has a lot of confidence in. And every time she opens her mouth, it's a word salad. You're not really sure what she's saying. And now you've got the Secretary of Defense in the intensive care unit in the hospital, where he's been in and out for the last couple of months, at a time where the United States has military challenges in 3 parts of the world, in the Middle East, in Europe, and in Asia. And so not only, it's sort of bad for 2 reasons. One, it looks horrible. It's like, who's in charge? And the image that the United States is supposed to project is, we're confident, we know what we're doing, we're in charge. And yet the Chinese are going around the world and saying, no, America's finished, days are over, best days are over, America's in decline. And we now have 3 leaders who are really making that pretty apparent to everyone. But the other thing is that our adversaries, they look at this and say, this is our time.
Yep.
Let's start taking advantage of this while we can, because there seems to be a massive leadership vacuum in Washington.
Trump is facing intense criticism after he made comments about NATO at a rally over the weekend. Watch this. Roll it.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You don't pay your bills, you get no protection. It's very simple. We're like the stupid country of the world, and we're not going to be the stupid country of the world any longer.
Katie, I suspect that most Americans would agree with Trump. What say you?
This is Trump trying to do shock therapy on our NATO allies, because they've been freeloading off the United States for decades. We're going into debt. We're running up huge deficits, in part to pay for their defense. And yet they're not running up those huge deficits. And even if they face consequences within their own continent, with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, they're not even stepping up. They were during President Trump. He shocked them and he goaded them into increasing their defense budget. But the minute Trump left office, they slid back to their same old ways. And Stuart, I just keep remembering the first time President Trump talked to the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel. I was in the Oval Office with the president, and her first words out of her mouth was, "What are you going to do about Ukraine?" He slapped it right back to her and said, well, what are you going to do about Ukraine? Ukraine is your neighbor, and you're not adequately providing for your own defense.
Got it. One last one for you. Biden spoke with Netanyahu after calling Israel's operation in Gaza over the top. Watch this, please. Roll it.
I don't know what he meant by that, but I can tell you where we are. Look, we were attacked in the worst attack on Jewish people since the Holocaust. That's that October 7th massacre was equivalent to 29 11s in one day, and the equivalent of 50,000 Americans slaughtered, burned, maimed, raped, beheaded, and 10,000 Americans taken hostage, including mothers and children. So what would America's response be? I'd say that it would be at least as strong as Israel's, and many Americans tell me we wouldn't have flattened them, we would have turned them into dust.
See, the news this morning is that the Israelis got 2 hostages released by their action in Gaza. Hardly over the top.
No, and the problem, I think, with it is that the Biden administration just loves to boss everybody around and tell them how to fight their own wars and how to make their own peace. And yet you have a situation where Israel has got to defend itself. Let Israel decide how it's going to defend itself and what its enemies are. And then, in addition, the Biden administration keeps coming in and saying, now, Israel, after the fighting stops, we expect you to do this, this, this. This is our solution for the Middle East. The arrogance of some of our elite leadership, we have gotten this wrong since Vietnam. Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and now we're trying to boss Israel around and tell them how to defend themselves, what their enemies are in the neighborhood, and how they should govern themselves and their neighbors. I think it's just a big mistake. Let the people in the region solve this problem, and let Israel figure out its own defense and carry out its actions as they need to do.
Katie McFarland, thank you very much for joining us. I know we'll see you again soon. Thank you, Katie.